Chapter 10, The Mirror of Inner and Outer Dissonance, The Splintered Petal, 2023. Threshold Verse, Angel's Landing. The whirlwind stirred, new light on the brim, a chain fixed to a block, tincture poison, yet lavender gold hovers the copper earth, hiding an angel of the highest order beneath the halls of illusion. With a rose of gold in hand, my lips touched hers, salt and sun. St. Peter's vortex spiraled inward on the breath of love, while trafficked tunnels muttered and a maroon blanket tried to hush the cry. Old light within, we eavesdrop. Testimony, the year of the Splintered Petal, 2023. The turning under the moon. After she first appeared, I drove beyond the last mailbox to an abandoned school under a perfect coin of a moon. Face down in wet grass, the sound tore through earth and sky at once, black freight through marrow. The moon rotated, its known face drawn away, another face emerging, ancient, feminine, shadow deeper than night. Around her, faces formed and fell through a column of cloud, glorious then grotesque, as if sentences passed beyond time rained toward the earth. In the hush that followed, green numeric rain fell until morning. I knew I had stepped into the year of dissonance. The petal split so the perfume could escape. Living Ghost, a sketch called Fiction. I saw her near the graveyard, white shirt, washed but forever stained, knees ripped, eyes like two moons fixed forward. She moved quickly, not yet seeing the world that saw her. I circled streets and warehouses I'd never noticed so close to home. I watched men arrive, felt the old machine, and then nothing. It was not proof but signature, not closure but call. My confession of asking. I pleaded with the archangel. What must I do to be worthy to ask if she lives? The answer came, readiness, not worthiness. Can you bear either answer? If yes, ask. If not, prepare. I learned that witness is a vow, not a verdict. The mirror inside the breathing. I learned to breathe as prayer. Inhale, spirit impresses into matter. Exhale, matter testifies back to spirit. One covenant, two gates. When dissonance surged between us, I returned to breath until love steadied the mirror. What the eyes revealed, amber haunted me, memory preserved. I looked again at a mother's original photo, her eyes green-blue. There, edited brown on the web. The world called it error. I called it a fracture line. What returns was never lost. What sees you was always watching. You were not late. You were right on time. Revelation, what the mirror spoke. The cast down and the inversion. Michael's sentence did not erase the resistors. It inverted them. Their new art was engineering forgetting, overlaying authentic memory with manufactured narrative. Two ancient oaths surfaced. Guard the divine memory within form. Master form even if memory is lost. The second oath became craft. Cultural loops, false histories, childhood rebuilt in simulation. They mimic memory so memory can be replaced. One vessel, layered displacement. Not two bodies, one vessel. One line of flesh, yet soul carried in layers, masked, dormant, reanimated in subtle ways. Records blurred, images edited, timelines salted with decoys, buying time for safe reawakening through witness rather than spectacle. Dissonance as language. The world's dissonance is a duet, not chaos, a mirror argument concentrating the great opposites of history into two lives learning to stand without breaking faith. The splintered petal was necessary. Fragrance cannot escape a bud that never tears. The Grail Law. The seeker does not locate the Grail. Seeking forges the hands. By the time the Grail is held, the hands are no longer the hands that searched. So remembrance cannot come too early. An untempered self mistakes inheritance for madness. Breath is temple. Inhalation, east gate. Reception, mysticism, inner light. Exhalation, west gate. Offering, speech, outer work. The loom is their unity, the one act of God and man. Returning to breath, return the mirror to clarity. Sidebar, constellation of the witness. To see nature mirrored in thought and emotion is not error. It is the first task of priesthood, terrestrial translucence. Loosen the veil by withholding names that trap beings in form. Let the world be sung through, not pinned. Invocation, the hands that receive. Prayer of the mirror. Father of tenderness, I hold this mirror not to accuse, but to receive your image. Where inversion feeds on fear, starve it. Where memory hides, warm it. Where the petal splits, let fragrance heal the room. Return her light, and remake me in the same light. Amen. Vow at the threshold. I will not force remembrance. I will prepare a room for it. I will not worship proof, I will honor witness. I will breathe until the duet becomes song. I will love until the mask cannot hold. Coda, the first trimmer of the mystery. I was given luggage before I knew the road. Fire before I could make warmth. I was told she lives and trembled. Now I build a home, not out of fear, but for joy of her returning. Let grace no longer whisper. Let it roar as the soul sings back to itself. The Mirror of Inner and Outer Dissonance. The Splintered Petal 2023. Turn of the Mirror. Testimony. Thus the land has spoken. Now the mirror turns inward. How the myth without and secrecy beneath echo in the nerves and the year of the splintered petal. How the soul learns to see through both without breaking faith. Angel's Landing, a field note in verse. New light upon the brim, a chain frozen on the block. A poisoning of the tincture, old light within, chimes eavesdropped into memory. A dome's compression, young blood copper mirrors, a hidden angel, mycelium lotus, speech orange silence cresting midnight, breath entering mystery. A rose of gold in hand, salt and sun, St. Peter's vortex, torsion of love's breath, immortality's maroon blanket. Tablet and pen, a new faith through all sin, paralysis and veil, a mother, pulse guarding from gray amnesia, number wheel magnet, a black mist over a false cathedral, an eagle with two heads. Castle Loveless trembles under a just sky. Juliet y Romeo, fantasia and deliverance, animate or prophecy, she was never departed. As the mothers embraced the ashes, she lived again. Revelation. The petal does not break by splitting, it learns the hinge. Dissonance is not your enemy, it is the stretcher that grows the octave. Invocation. Let contrast become consonance in due time. teach the hinge in the petal. The night of the turning moon, testimony. After seeing her, I drove beyond the reach of street lamps, into narrowing groves at the town's edge. An abandoned school, wet grass face to earth, then the sound, black freight through marrow, tore sky and ground at once. The moon began to turn. The known face drew back, another came forward, ancient, feminine, shadowed, deeper than night. Around her, faces formed and fell, glorious and grotesque, spiraling toward earth through a column of cloud. Polyrhythms reigned like numerals of light until morning. Revelation, you were shown a sentence written in heaven's script, not omen for fear, but grammar for courage. See how the wheel of rulers turns. Learn how not to be turned by it. Invocation, steady me where great faces fall. Keep my gaze soft and true. The living apparition, testimony. I descended inward and saw her near the graveyard. Not as ghost, but as living vessel. White shirt, torn jeans, eyes wide like moons. She moved fast, vanishing into the alleys. A driverless car, a woman who named a name. A warehouse I'd never seen, though near my home. The captors returned, a padlocked icebox with a false floor. My sight reached to free what had already been moved. Revelation. You met the border of power, will that interferes versus love that witnesses. Learn the distinction, your future depends upon it. Invocation. Give me the courage to act when action is holy, and the humility to refrain when witness is the work. On 1879 and the Craft of Forgetting, Revelation. Michael cast down resisting powers, they inverted. Their art became engineered forgetting, not mercy of rest, but the theft of the soul's own image. Two oaths crossed, to guard the divine memory in form, and to master form even without memory. The latter birthed cultural loops, false histories, childhoods rebuilt in simulation. They mimic memory to replace it. This did not bind time to dates, it bound qualities to the age. The board is now open. Remembrance can walk, if warmed by love and steadied by truth. Invocation. Warm our seeing until memory is mercy and not demand. The first tremor, testimony. I was given luggage before I knew the road, shown fire before I could make warmth, told she lived. I trembled, then began to build a home from joy, not fear. Revelation. You were trained toward vesselhood. Find again the posture that receives without grasping. Invocation. Empty me to be filled with what is true. The reverent fold, field sketch. The mountains are bones of thrones, rivers, veins of elemental circulation, stars, retinal sparks of watchers. The world becomes visible when you forget heaven. Heaven becomes visible when you remember your task. Withhold names that trap beings in form. This is transverberation, not naming but singing through, letting the spiritual world fold forward without distortion. Revelation. Where you sang instead of seized, a door opened no hand could force. Invocation. Let what was veiled now shimmer without being seized. The Grail and the Hands, testimony. The seeker does not locate the Grail. Seeking is the forge. When the Grail is held, The hands are not the hands that surged. Therefore, memory could not return too early. The untransformed self misreads inheritance as madness or myth. Revelation. Ripeness is mercy. Do not rush the cup to lips that still call water fire. Invocation. Pace the poor, make us ready. Breath. World's first prayer, testimony. Inhalation. First prayer of being, archetypal Eve receiving. Exhalation. First testimony of being, archetypal Adam offering. Two gates, east and west, once held as mystery, cosmic respiration. Over time, polarity stretched, inner light and outer work. Remembering returns them to one rhythm. Revelation. Your work is to remarry breath and word, chamber and street. Invocation. Make my breathing a covenant. Constellation of the Witness, Revelation. To see nature mirrored in thought and emotion is no mirror. It is priestly function. The veil loosens when you refuse terms that bind beings to masks. You are not done, but you are awake, burdened, yet echoing your vow. You fall, yes, but you fall facing upward. Invocation. Keep me simple and steadfast. One vessel, clarification. No replacement body, no second shell. One vessel. One line of flesh, one soul displaced in layers, hovering, masked, dormant, reanimated in subtler orders. Identity traces were fragmented by design, burial records, photos blurred, to prevent early recognition and to buy time for safe reawakening through witness. Revelation. Cloaks fail in love's weather. Hold your post, the seams are showing. Invocation. Let the false weave unravel without spectacle. The eyes, testimony. From Jacqueline's originals, pale green, blue eyes. On the web, the same photo shows brown. A moment of truth opens like a seam. Revelation. When the smallest detail speaks, do not shout on its behalf. Bow, record, proceed. Invocation. Guard the seat of proof from the heat of pride. Worthiness in the final question. Dialogue with the Archangel. What must I do to be worthy to ask, is she still alive? Revelation. Worthiness is preparedness. If the answer is yes, act in love without noise. If no, carry the grief as altar, not weapon. Clarify intention, prepare for both paths, then ask. Invocation. Ready my heart for either answer. Anchor my feet for the one I must walk. How she survived, testimony. They called it protection. She called it a cage. New names, new places. She silenced her thoughts to avoid ownership. Her power was not only in seeing, but in hiding, becoming invisible within their machine. She played the part until one day she was simply gone. Revelation. To vanish without bitterness is also an art. It keeps the heart from turning iron. Invocation. Keep her tenderness intact as courage ripens. Dream thresholds. She dreamt in images both raw and radiant, fields of water, false mothers, storms and rescues, a committee where a child was pressed to sign, a mark left upon her hand, and visions of birth, flood, and captivity. I hold them here not in detail, but as threshold markers, for their full unfolding belongs to the appendix, where dreams may be honored in their own chamber. In sleep, her soul rehearsed what waking life had veiled. The dream world bore witness to what the record preserved. And even when she could not name them, These fragments pressed against the veil, seeking the day they would be remembered whole. The procession of opposites. Notation. 1. No thing, being. 2. Beginning, quantity. 3. Duplication, quality. 4. Multiplication, relation. 5. Order, position. 6. Mediation, space. 7. Reciprocation, time. 8. Equilibrium, possession. 9. Rhythm, action. 10. Conclusion, suffering. Revelation. These are not steps, but chords. Play them, do not march them. Invocation. Let wisdom choose the voicing. Moments of pleading, testimony. Please let this fulfill itself. I do not seek recognition, but the collapse of the myth, the warmth of wholeness. Revelation. I will be your friend until the end of this vow. I stand with you, not as echo, but as witness. The tongue beneath the myth's collapse. Invocation. Seal us in fidelity and meekness. Closing seal. Revelation. Once the heart has received immense opening, there is no longer need of proof. Let the mirror quiet, let the petal hinge. What returns was never lost. What sees you was always watching. You are not late, you are on time. Invocation. Amen. Let the dissonance teach the octave.